Most people don't realize how deeply the desire for approval controls their life. They wake up thinking about what others might think of them. They shape their behavior to avoid judgment, and they measure their value through reactions, comments, and attention. But the truth is that living for approval is one of the fastest ways to lose yourself. The ancient Stoics understood this better than anyone. They believed that the moment your mood depends on someone else's opinion, you've given away your freedom. And the more you chase praise, the more powerless you become. The first step to breaking this habit is to notice how often it shows up. Notice the moments when you hesitate before speaking, not because you're unsure of your thoughts, but because you're worried about how others will interpret them. Notice when you dress a certain way, not because you like it, but because you hope it will win approval. Notice when you replay conversations in your mind, trying to imagine how the other person judged you. These small patterns create a life that revolves around everyone except you. The Stoics taught that we suffer when we place our sense of self in things we do not control, and the opinions of others are the perfect example. You cannot control what someone thinks, or what they feel, or how they perceive you. Even if you act perfectly, speak perfectly, and present yourself perfectly, some people will still misunderstand, dislike, or criticize you. So the Stoic question is simple. If you cannot control their approval, why make your happiness depend on it? Instead, they focused on what they could control: their intentions, their actions, and their character. They believed that if you live with integrity, if your actions align with your values, then external approval becomes irrelevant. You're no longer trying to impress anyone. You're simply trying to live well. But of course, that's easier said than done. We are social creatures. We want to be accepted. We want to fit in. Yet the Stoics remind us that wanting approval is different from needing it. You can appreciate support while not depending on it. You can enjoy compliments without building your identity around them. And you can listen to criticism without letting it define you. To break the cycle of approval seeking, you have to practice something the Stoics value deeply: internal validation. Ask yourself, did I act according to my values? Did I do the right thing? Am I living the way I believe I should? These questions put the focus back on you, your judgment, your standards, your principles. When your self-respect comes from the inside, external opinions lose their power. Another powerful practice is letting people misunderstand you. Not everyone deserves a corrected version of your story. You do not have to explain yourself to everyone. You do not have to prove anything. You do not have to convince anyone you are good enough. Sometimes the most stoic thing you can do is smile, say nothing, and continue on your path. People will think what they want, and often their judgments say more about them than they do about you. The Stoics also warned about another danger: changing yourself just to avoid disapproval. When you hide your truth because someone might reject it, you're rejecting yourself first. And the more you silence your voice, the weaker it becomes. Confidence is not built by pleasing others. It's built by honoring your own principles, even when others disagree. Every time you choose authenticity over approval, you strengthen your inner foundation. There's a moment in Marcus Aurelius' writing where he reminds himself that people are going to have opinions no matter what, and most of those opinions come from their own biases, fears, and misunderstandings. He tells himself not to waste time worrying about the thoughts of people who don't truly see the world clearly. This is a powerful mindset shift. If someone's perspective is limited, why should their judgment shape your life? Another important idea is this: almost no one is thinking about you as much as you think they are. Most people are too busy worrying about themselves, their own flaws, and their own lives. The fear of judgment is often an illusion created by our own insecurity. When you stop imagining that the whole world is watching you, you start moving with a lot more freedom. Practice doing things without announcing them. Practice choosing things because you want them. Practice letting silence speak for you. The less you need to be seen, the more powerful you become. Approval seeking fades when you stop performing and start living. think about how much potential is wasted when people live in fear of opinions. They never take risks, they never start, they never express themselves fully because they're constantly waiting for permission. The Stoic approach frees you from this prison. You stop asking, will they like me? And start asking, is this the right thing for me to do? That shift changes everything. Your life becomes self-directed instead of crowd-directed. You also have to accept that disapproval is inevitable. The Stoics didn't fear it, they expected it. They understood that no matter what you do, someone will always disagree. And if disagreement is guaranteed, trying to avoid it is a losing game. Instead of shrinking when you face disapproval, treat it as a test of your principles. If someone challenges you, look inward and ask, have I acted with integrity? If the answer is yes, then nothing else matters. Over time, something interesting happens. The more you stop seeking approval, the more respect you naturally earn. People trust those who don't beg for validation. They admire those who move with quiet confidence, who speak honestly, who don't try so hard to impress. Ironically, you gain more approval by not needing it, but by then, you won't be chasing it anymore. The path to self-mastery is not about becoming indifferent to people. It's about becoming independent of their praise. It's about building a life based on inner strength rather than outer reactions. When you live this way, anxiety fades, overthinking fades, insecurity fades. You stop being a puppet pulled by invisible strings and become the author of your own behavior. So, whenever you feel yourself seeking approval, pause. Take a breath. Ask yourself, is this aligned with who I want to be? If the answer is yes, move forward boldly. If the answer is no, course correct. Your life is too valuable to waste on chasing applause. True freedom begins the moment you stop living for approval and start living with intention. And once you taste that freedom, you'll never want to give it up again.